6:37 right now. New this morning out of Attleboro, a great story here. A new restaurant is hosting its grand opening today, Veterans Day.
That's a fitting date on the calendar, given that it's owned by an Army vet whose time in the service inspired his most central piece of the menu. One whiff of this waffle and you'll be hooked. The Liege waffle, unlike any other you've tasted.
It's such a different waffle. It's a yeast of risen dough. It has pearl sugars that caramelize on the outside of it. So it's naturally sweet, it's dense, it's chewy. You eat it by itself.
Shane Matlock owns Burgundian, a new restaurant on Park Street in Attleboro that serves up sweet and savory waffles in the most unique culinary creations. He discovered the delectable dish while serving in the Army.
I had the unfortunate, quote unquote, job of being stationed on the border of France and Belgium for 3 years. And there was this just wonderful little gentleman and his wife. They were in their 80s at that point, named Bernard. And he would make these waffles. And the first time I had it, I took a bite. It was this dense, chewy. It was so different than anything I had ever tried.
Years later, out of the service, Matlock, who had always wanted to own a coffee shop, was looking for a hook, a way to combine his love of food and travel. And he remembered that distinctive taste.
I did research, I started testing all these recipes. I eventually went back to Belgium and learned how to make them from a waffle master and brought them back here, and that's how the waffle started.
First, Burgundian was a food truck that stopped at local events and breweries.
Once we brought the food truck on and our fried chicken and waffles, that just took off. That was it.
A passionate fan base of Burgundians bloomed.
The Burgundian is someone who loves food and drink in both quality and quantity, shared amongst friends.
The Belgian term really is a way of life for Matlock, who wanted to have a central space for the community to gather, leading him to this brick and mortar location, serving up those waffles along with craft coffee, and eventually plans for beer too.
We want to be part of people's daily lives here in Attleboro. We want them to come for coffee on the way to work and then swing by for a beer and some dinner on the way home, you know? I never thought that being stationed in Europe would have put so much of what this brand is and what Burgundian is. And that just changed everything.
More than just an owner, he's the CBO, the Chief Burgundian Officer. We are so grateful for all of our veterans, but we are extra grateful that Shane Matlock served on that border of France and Belgium and discovered those waffles.
And thank you to Shane for sending some back with Doreen, too, because I've never had a waffle like that in my life.